seems quite an obvious thing to do. I suppose the fact that I've placed it in a political context, and I suppose what happened was it was the first of those movies that actually you kind of had to see again, or when an event happens that makes you change your perception of the stuff that went before it. You're watching the film in one way, and a pivotal event happens that makes you realize that, what happened before is an entirely different significance. And M. Night Shyamalan did it in The Sixth Sense, and it kind of became a trick then, didn't it, after that? That surprise twist and stuff like that. But, I just did it because it helped the story.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie, and many people's, is the scene between, which you briefly referred to, the scene between Forrest Whitaker and Stephen Rea, the frog and scorpion scene. Could you tell the story of the frog and scorpion, since it's such a great story that has so many parallels to life?
Yeah, okay. Well, that's actually from Orson Welles. It's from a movie he made called Mr. Arcaden. And Wells was asked about that story, where did he get it from, and he said he heard it from some Levantine gentleman somewhere in the world. I was a bit ruder than that, actually, but you want me to tell the story?
Yeah, tell
the scorpion, a frog wants to get a... Wait.
That's correct. This scorpion wants to get across.
Scorpion wants to get across the river, and he says to a frog, Mr. Frog, will you help me cross the river? And the frog says to him, look, you think I'm that dumb? If I get you on my back and I take you across the river and you sting me, I'll drown. And the scorpion says, but you don't understand, Mr. Frog, if I'm in your back and we're in the middle of the river and I sting you, we both will drown. It wouldn't be in my interest to sting you. So the frog thinks about it. He says, okay, get my back. He's swimming across the river, and suddenly the scorpion stings him. And the frog goes, what did you do that for? Now we're both going to drown. And the scorpion said, because it's in my nature.
You came up with the psychological thriller, The Crying Game.
Oh, God, that's so long ago. But it's like... I had written this story about a guy who kidnaps a British Army soldier and holds him hostage for a period, has to hold him hostage for a period, and about the strange symbiosis between them both, And it was partly based on a short story by Frank O'Connor called Guests of the Nation, which was turned into a play by Brendan Behan called Anguille, or The Hostage, I think. And every time I wanted it to be a relationship, kind of a really complicated relationship between himself and the soldier's wife. Yeah, but every time the story moved back to London, where after the death of the soldier, he went to find this woman, the story became ordinary and it lost all its power. And one day I just thought, what if I make this woman a guy? As simple as that. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. Okay, let's go with that. And it became. And then I wrote the second part of it, and the kidnapping section of it. These men so close together, one having to actually help the other even go to the bathroom and stuff like that. It suddenly became all pregnant with all sorts of weird stuff. So that's how it came up.